Welcome to today's episode 6, and it's a little bit different this one because, as you can probably tell, I'm back home in England. In 48 hours we will be flying to Ibiza for the next 9 days. So until then it's a load of packing, a load of washing, and I've also got a lot of client stuff to catch up on. I do have a shoot tonight in Southampton which I will be taking you on, so I thought this video should be all about nightlife and all about photography. I'm not a photographer myself, so I'm going to be meeting up with a photographer that I know and that I work with, Max, aka Dark Shot, later in the video. For now, I need to crack on with quite a lot of stuff. So the first one being the gym. The gym has been finished and I'm feeling weak after 6 days in Italy. The other day I picked up a GoPro Max. So this is the GoPro 360 that I was talking about. The problem is I don't know how to use it yet because I've been away. The problem is that a nightclub have booked me to get some shots with it tonight. And that's the only reason why I've been booked, because of that camera. Which means I have today to figure out how to use it. 10 hours until my shoot tonight. I'm planning on using the 360 on the pole to get confetti shots above the crowd. And using the GoPro app, I will keyframe around to control the angle of the camera. Okay, so I've just been having a little play around and trying to figure out how the GoPro works, and it's cool. It's a really cool camera, something I'm really excited to use. I think I'll be alright tonight, but I will take you along anyway and I will show you how it goes. So I actually met up with my friend and photographer Max, aka Dark Shot, just to speak about the mistakes that photographers make when they're going in to shoot nightlife. So I'm going to show you how that went now. Okay, so I'm here with Max, aka Dark Shot, the king of photography, especially here in the hometown Brighton. Absolutely smashes it, covers out the whole city basically. So I thought there's no better person to go through some of the basic tips or mistakes that beginners make when they're starting out on their photography journey.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, let's go for it, straight into it. Tip number 1, what are we saying? Or mistake number 1, or tip number 1, whatever you've got.
First thing, number 1, hype kid mentality. For me, it's something that it can be super useful. Being up to date on the latest trends, being able to do whatever the latest, for video fancy transition, or for photos, whatever the latest filter is, whatever the latest preset is. But so many people get wrapped up in that, just having that preset. You bang it on a photo and suddenly they think they're a pro. You've got to be humble about it and just keep it within the realms of reality. You've got to know why these things work. You've got to have a look at it and not just get wrapped up in trends. Number 2? Yeah.
Or mistake, sorry.
Mistake number 2. For me, a bit of a pet hate. Calling yourself a CEO.
Yeah.
Running before you.
Is that me? I don't think that's me, to be fair. I think I'm clear on that one.
Trying to run before you can walk. There's a time for blagging it. Sometimes you've got to walk into a meeting and you've got to act like you've got this multi-million-pound company to pull off a big client. But equally, you're not a CEO. I'm not a CEO. I'm a company director, but I'm not even a CEO. You've got to be a bit more humble sometimes. And a lot of clients will like that. A lot of clients want to work with you because you are just you. Not convinced by it.
And you know what it is? Always the people that have they've just got a camera, they've just started getting their first few clients, and then they start acting like they've got they've built up this whole fucking empire and this whole success. And then I see so many YouTubers where YouTube videos where people give advice, and it's you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and I look onto their portfolio or anything, and it was literally set up 6 months ago. And I'm damn, who are you to tell anyone what to do? And I say this in all of my videos, I only advise people on what's worked for me. A lot of what I do is just winging it. You just test out things, and if it works, it doesn't. But I don't think there's a right and wrong in this kind of industry as such. You just have to kind of be yourself and just wing it.
So being a CEO, not always a good thing, not always an advantage. Mistake number 3, not knowing your kit.
Sure.
It's like, it's boring, it's nerdy, but I'm a camera nerd.
Yeah,
like,
It takes time to understand it as well.
Yeah, learn it. You want to be able to know where all the buttons are, like
Sure.
in the dark. Like where a lot of the environment that I started out in, it's nightclubs, nightlife, it's pitch black.
Yeah.
You can't see the camera.
Yeah.
You need to know where it is, and things like that really help. Also, when I'm trying to work with someone and someone coming on my team, if I'm talking to them and they say, and I go, oh, you know, what kit have you got? And they're going, yeah, I've got an EOS like 5 and a 27 to something millimeter.
Yeah,
And I'm just like,
already.
It says it on the lens.
Yeah.
Just know what your focal length is. It's a small thing, but that knowledge will help.
Yeah.
But when you start out, just like get a decent body and a good like 24-70 or that sort of equivalent, and just get shooting and know that kit properly, and then buy stuff as and when you need it. Because it's kind of like part 2 of this mistake, but you always get people that get excited because they've just bought a 300mm lens, and then they try and shoot everything with it, and then they realise that they've missed the shot because they're right up here and they're trying to shoot with a telephoto just because they've only just bought it. It's like, know your kit, like know what it does, just be informed about what you're using. Right, mistake number 4. It's a controversial one because everybody always has this like catch-22. You need to get the experience, so you want to get involved, so you do stuff for free. But then, once you do stuff for free, that person is very rarely going to see you as being someone that they need to pay. Or if you undercut to get your foot in the door, then you're always going to be stuck, like battling against the price. So
that is true.
Mistake number 4 for me is undercutting and undervaluing yourself. Undercutting is bad because you're slowly just killing the industry.
And also your reputation in the industry will like become affected by that 100%. And then trust me, like it's a small community once you get into it and working with other people. They'll all think you're dicks. They'll all think you're a dick, man.
When word gets around that you're the guy that undercuts to get the work, you're not going to be popular with photographers and videographers and the other creatives. And I mean, that might not be a problem at the start, but the more it goes on, the more you want. The more it goes on, the more you want a good relationship with those people. Like,
especially because the community often gives you so much work. I mean, the amount of times you can hook up with a videographer and then they can't do their shoot and then they can pass it over to you. So the more you're friendly with people, the more you vibe with people and get on and respect each other's, like, you know,
especially early days, when you've got some skill and you've got some talent, but you don't necessarily have the client base. Then being on good terms with a handful of local photographers or videographers or whatever your thing is, it really helps. So not screwing them over and undercutting them. Mistake number 5, with no disrespect to what you're doing, spending all your time listening to what other photographers and videographers are saying, and like
listen to him.
Don't listen to me. Putting too much emphasis on what other people are saying and not necessarily checking out who they actually are, what their background is. Like you said before, there's so many photographers, videographers putting out videos like they're pros and experts, and they've been doing it for 6 months. Or people trying to sell you a course when they don't have any background. And
that's why this one's free.
Exactly. Like if someone's trying to sell you a course but they can't prove why you shouldn't buy it, like, it's people who couldn't quite make it in the industry, some who are then trying to teach as a way of getting in. You need to find the way of working that works for you.
Yeah, and a lot of that I think comes down to passion. If you just like I used to just get out and enjoy making videos, and you quickly realise what works and what doesn't work. Especially if you're going to shoot nightlife and stuff like that. If you've got a mate as a DJ, I used to shoot my mate as a DJ and realise I fucking sucked, like hard. So you just figure it out. Like I didn't need to go home and watch like what to do, what not to do. You just kind of keep going and keep testing out things until you eventually you get it, don't you? So
So I guess mistake number 5 is like, you know, listen to people, but reality check it.
Don't overdo it.
Sanity check it. Make sure that you're happy with what they're saying and they actually works for you. There's no point in just listening to a list and then having it in your mind and just assuming that's true when you don't actually experience it.
Yeah, because also like you don't have to do everything by the book. I mean, I haven't been to uni. Did you go to uni to study this? A lot of us creatives.
I studied architecture. Never wanted to be an architect. I just did it for the student loan, and I wanted to go to uni.
Exactly.
Didn't want to kill my passion for photography by studying it. So
wicked. Max,
there you go.
Thank you so much. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to where I was in the vlog, which I can't even bloody remember. Anyway.
Time is 8:44. We've got a 2-hour drive to get to the club where I'm going to be shooting tonight. I feel alright. I'm a little bit anxious that the GoPro, I'm going to struggle in the low light, or I'm not 100% sure going to be able to get the motion properly, as I've only really used it once, so this will be interesting. But I have my camera as a backup. In case it goes wrong, I will try and magic something up. Right, this is an absolute nightmare. I'm in traffic. What is going on? The reality of what I do is not everything is glamorous. Tonight's event wasn't that busy, which means the 360 shows up a lot of empty space in the club, which is not what I wanted, but here's how it turned out. Just as I thought, the camera does struggle in low light, and even though the angles are really cool, the quality just does not compare to my Sony. So I think in future, I will be using this for outside events with natural lighting. But that's the shoot done. Time to head back, get my suitcase, as tomorrow we fly to Ibiza.